there were no late scares for Real Madrid, as Karim Benzema's 2 first-half goals were enough to see them through safely as Group B winners. But the drama came after the final whistle in Madrid. There's the Borussia Mönchengladbach squad. The moment when they were delivered into the last 16 for the first time in the club's history. The result in Milan, Inter 0, Shakhtar 0, sees Borussia Mönchengladbach through second in Group B, and cue the celebrations for them. There's the final table. Inter rock bottom. Shakhtar will go through to the Europa League. Real through as group winners after all their toil and trouble, safely through top of the pile. They came through in the end. Where was that Real over the last few months, Brian, that we saw this evening?
I don't know, Tommy, but that was a throwback to some of the great performances we've seen them in the past, and particularly in the final. The final itself, they produced amazing performances, but I think it was significant that the midfield three were back together for the first time this season, and that Luka Modric, at 35 I think he is now, rolled back the years. His performance was sensational tonight. Cruz was brilliant, and Casemiro did his cover job in the middle of the field. A couple of loose passes early on. But Vasquez is very good at right back. Mendy, a little bit scattery, I'd say, at times. But overall, it was a superb performance by Real Madrid tonight, far superior than Borussia Mönchengladbach. And the bit of pressure on them, and they did it. They were convincing winners.
Big performances from their big players then, Damien. Is that a psychological thing on their part, that maybe at the stage of the career that some of them are at, and the amount of things that they've won, that they don't always get up unless it's a big night?
Yeah, like when you're younger and you're motivated, you know, you don't care who you're playing, you just show up, you swap them aside, and the motivation is huge. As you get older and the motivation drops off a little bit, it can be difficult sometimes. In games like Shakhtar at home, at your training ground, you know, there's a little bit of a drop off, but I always felt that tonight, with the rewards that were there for them, the carrot of getting into the knockout stages, that the old guys could summon that little bit of motivation, or that they perhaps lack when they're playing Alaves away and stuff like that. So tonight was a fantastic one, but I'd almost liken this Real team to, like, you know, like a tube of toothpaste. It's empty, but you just keep rolling it and squeezing it, and sometimes you get a bit out and sometimes you don't, and I just think we've
all been there.
Yeah, that's where they're at the minute, really.
Thanks for painting it in a way that we can all relate to, Damien. It's really interesting, though, that idea that, like, the sheer amount of success that they've had, that it's not always easy to go there. You see what they can do. They can still do it. Modric was as good maybe tonight as he was when he won the Ballon d'Or a couple of years ago, I think, probably fair to say.
He was rattling off those performances 50, 60 times a season, but age catches up with you, the motivation drops, you just can't do it anymore, you can't summon it out of your body. It becomes very, very difficult, you know, especially when you've had the level of success that they've had. But tonight I just had a feeling that old feeling would come back, and the rewards were great for them, and they were brilliant tonight. Not just Modric, but that midfield trio were fantastic.
Also fantastic was the centre forward, the man who they do rely on now post Ronaldo for the goals. He delivered 2 more this evening. He delivered in so many ways for them, Benzema. It's 7 shots. He created 5 chances for teammates and 2 goals, Brian.
Well, I think he came out with the most expensive toothpaste in the chemist shop based on that performance. I mean, his link-up play was brilliant. He dropped back into the middle of the field, got involved, has a crack here, unlucky deflection, takes it over the bar. Probably good defend, you could say as well. This was brilliant, though. Dropping back deep in his own half, wins a little flick header, then gets the pass on to Cruz. And look at him striding forward to get involved in it again. Here he gets on to the end of it, another cross, looking for his hat-trick. Someone makes a save, not enough power on pace on the cross. This one, he's really generous. He gives the ball to Vinicius Jr. He tries to play it back to him. He should have had the shot. He picks up off this one off the post from Ramos, flashes it in, underside the bar, back out again. So we're very unfortunate. I love this bit. Look, little 1-2, Casemiro or Vinicius, then the trick showing off his skill. Here's the goals. Beautiful header, Vasquez's ball. Great ball in.
And it's more about his movements than the defending, or do you fault the defenders?
Well, Damien explained it from the defender's point of view. I'll give it to you from a manager coach's point of view. I say, what the bloody hell were you doing as a centre half?
I've had those discussions before.
Letting him run in behind you like that. Get a hold of him. Don't let him go. You must know where he's going to go. But it was a masterclass performance of a centre forward.
Great centre forward.
257 goals. You have to say that for that club. Tonight he equalled the appearances of a foreign player for Real Madrid, 527 appearances. That's remarkable consistency at a club where you have to do it or you moved on.
Yeah. Response from the centre-halves union on that one, by the way, very quickly?
Look, it's difficult when the ball's right on the money and it's played over the back here. The one thing as a centre-back, you don't want to let someone get across the front. Yeah, you kind of might have to give them the one over the top. And when the ball's plumb like that, sometimes there's not a whole pile you can do.
Let's talk about that midfield domination. Certainly first half anyway, it was almost like they said, we're going to dictate the terms of engagement here, Kroos and Modric in particular. I
mean, Modric was breathtakingly good. I mean, it was a joy to watch. We talked an awful lot about last night about Messi and Ronaldo rolling back the years, but this guy really did it tonight. Here he is feeding a fantastic ball. And as I said there, you know, he used to do this 50, 60 times a season, a little bit less now, but he covered every blade of grass. His passing was on point, you know, playing in the two young wingers, and Kroos was up to his usual tricks of switching play and hitting the big ranging passes. But here's Modric covering every blade of grass. He was fabulous.
Yeah, he probably should have been rewarded with a goal. I mean, he got himself up into the box as well.
Looked really up for it, Brian, didn't he?
Yeah, but the combination play between the three of them was great too. That's the three of them there playing little tick-tack passes. Here he's in the box this time. Sommer, the goalkeeper, did remarkably well. Got a touch on that and put it onto the post. Kroos to get shown the skills, calmness, winning 2-0 early in the second half here, spraying her about. He comes up as a support man as well. There's a Kroos, the crossfield pass, spreading the play, allowing Vasquez to overlap on the right-hand side. They were just, in fairness to Mönchengladbach in the second half, they brought an extra player as a carry into the middle of the field. They made it a little bit more awkward for them, gave a bit more balance.
They got it wrong in that front, did they? They kind of seeded the midfield.
Two adventures in the first half, 4 players up front, and allowed Real Madrid to dictate and run the game, as we saw in the early part of that.
Kroos had 97% pass accuracy there, so he had 93 passes in the game and got 90 of them right. So what happened to the other
they
three?
all weren't little short ones. You saw they were big switches, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it was just incredible. It was great to see it. It was a bit of a throwback. So as we look at the last 16 confirmed teams now that will be in the draw for the last 16, if Real Madrid play like that, I don't know much is left in the toothpaste, Damien. But I mean, if they play like that all the way through, are they in the reckoning?
Right, I mean, look, they're going to come up against some big hitters sooner or later. They need to get very lucky with the draw now, you know. Perhaps you get maybe an Atalanta or a Porto or someone around those, or maybe...
Yeah, just to reiterate, the teams on the left are the seeded teams, the team on the right are the unseeded teams.
Yeah, I mean, so they could potentially get Gladbach again, so, I mean...
Not in the last 16.
I know, but further on, you know, up the road, so they need to get someone...
I don't think Gladbach will win a match in the next round. I don't think they're that good enough. Fair play to them for qualifying, getting the 8 points, and they were lucky the 2 draws they had in the group, but I don't think they're good enough defensively to survive in the next round against one of the seeds.
I don't know. I think
we'll continue this, chaps. Gladbach, and glad to be there.